All right, Kombat Konvo, you know what it is, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the page. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. So, we're going to do another episode of Hulk Hogan talking about the Iron Sheik. Let's get it.
Brody was kind of hard to do business with in the ring. He's really stiff and would beat the shit out of you. He wouldn't put anybody over. And he was a big man, 6'8", 330 pounds, in crazy shape. And they wanted to beat him. He was not tonight, brother.
Wow.
So after the match, they said, "Hey, Jose wants to talk to you in the shower." Brody went walking in the shower. He jumped him, cut his throat, and died right there. And all the wrestlers that saw it were afraid to go back and testify.
Wow.
So that's. So it can get crazy.
That's about as crazy as it gets. Yeah. So you guys were the first ones to break those boundaries and kind of barnstorm the whole country like that. Vince is a gangster.
Bro,
yeah. That's such a gangster
whole country
move.
How about going to Germany or South Africa? Because they had wrestling over there too. How about blowing in South Africa and getting challenged by the South African heavyweight champion, Wilhelm Ruska, that judo guy. My God, it goes on and on and on. With how crazy it got,
What was that like?
It was different. The good thing was everywhere I went, I had like the crew with me, except for when I went to South Africa. That was a little different. But everywhere I went, it was always the crew and the WWE 20 or 30 wrestlers that were there, so you felt a lot better.
Right.
I try not to peel off on my own too often.
Right.
Especially when we're walking someone else's backyard that they've been promoting wrestling for 30, 40, 50 years, and all of a sudden you come here.
And they have the same sort of unspoken rules out there?
And we broke them all.
Wow. Yeah, I never even considered that as a possibility, that there would be these territories.
Well, that's one of the main things that made Vince Jr. so famous and changed the game forever. Vince Sr. always wanted him. Wasn't it like a promise, a handshake deal? You can have the company, son, but just please don't ever mess with the other territories. And Vince is like
Vince
okay.
It's like
Bye,
Vince
Dad.
told me, he goes, if my dad knew what we were getting ready to do, he'd have never sold me the territory.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. He goes, you up for it? I said, yeah. Let's do it.
Was the dad alive when this was going down?
For a while.
Yeah?
For a while, I had pancreatic cancer.
Ooh.
And he was alive. Like when I went back, oh, God, it's such a crazy story. I hate to get into all this stuff, but it's all true. Like when I went back, I had just been in Minnesota, spent 3 years. Hulk Hogan had really, that Hulkamania thing had started there. And I was on fire there. I mean, really on fire. And so now when I go back to New York, Vince had flown to my house. We talked about doing a deal. So I said on a certain day I'm coming back to New York. I did 2-3 weeks of TV. Then when I was supposed to beat the Iron Sheik for the belt that night, Vince Sr. was there. And he always had these half glasses that he'd look over, and he's always clicking quarters together when he talked to you. And I'm standing there with Vince Sr. and Vince Jr. and myself, and Bob Backlund's standing there, who was the champion that the Iron Sheik beat for the belt. Now the Iron Sheik's got the belt, and Backlund thought he was getting the belt back. And Backlund was my guy. I used to go to Japan with him and train with him in Japan when nobody else would run steps with him and everything in the hotel. All of a sudden I'm sitting there and Vince is clicking the quarters together, and he goes, well, I'm really thinking, that I really don't think we should do this tonight. We should put this off for about 6 months. And Bob Backlund pops up and goes, yeah, I think a real athlete should be the champion. So I'm looking over at him, right? And like, what the hell's going on here, And then out of nowhere, I said, well, guys, I just had a huge bridge I just burnt down in Minnesota. And I built a big bridge there. I'll tell you what, I'll wrestle the Iron Sheik tonight. I'll put his ass over because that's business, but I'm leaving. I'm going back and rebuild that bridge. Thank you guys very much for bringing me up there. I went back to the dressing room. It was about 10 or 15 minutes later, Vince Jr. came in. He says, oh, everything's okay. I talked to my dad. Everything's settled down. I said, are you sure? Now what I don't know on the backside is when I leave Minnesota, the promoter, Vern Gagne, who worked there, the Iron Sheik, Cosgrove Lazario, whatever his real name was, he was a real bodyguard for the Shah of Iran.
Yeah.
He was the real deal, bro. He's got all these huge dents and holes in his head where they used to beat him and stuff when he was over there. what little did I know, Kaz, the Iron Sheik, broke in with Vern Gagne in Minnesota, right? So now I come to New York, and I'm going to win the belt, and Vern Gagne was pissed at me for leaving, so he calls Kaz up and says, I'll give you $100,000 to break Hogan's leg. Right? And now this guy's an NCAA champion, the real deal. I'm not, you know? So Vern offers him $100,000 to break my leg.
Oh, my God.
And we go in the ring, and I mean, I'm giving him my arm and take my head and take my leg. I mean, you know, I think we're working, you know, not shooting. And he told us afterwards, oh, you know, my accent's terrible. The Iron Sheik goes, but, you know, Vern called me and wanted to give me $100,000 to break your leg, but I'm a businessman. I just hope we can keep working together. I said, brother, don't worry, we're going to work together all the time.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
But that, I don't know if you knew about that, if you're a wrestling fan. But,
I didn't know that he was offered $100,000 to break your leg.
$100,000.
Smart move for him to not take it. You get $100,000 there, and then you guys never work together, and he's never anywhere near what he became. One of the ultimate heels of all time.
Yeah, but these are all, everybody knows these stories, man. These are
Also, he's an athlete. He's not a hitman.
Right.
You know, it's kind of fucked up. Like
it's a different business. You'd be surprised. Those rules don't apply all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's just, I love the Iron Sheik.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah. I hung out with him one time in that Toronto pot place, you know, where they have that marijuana show where the entire room was filled with weed smoke.
Yeah.
And the Iron Sheik got on stage with me.
Yeah, he's the man. I roasted him 3 times. L.A., Toronto, and Hamilton, Canada. I told him he's such a nice guy, he'd give you the shirt off his head.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He was a freak athlete too, man. You ever see him do the clubs? Yeah.
None of us could do it. We all tried. None of us could do it. I couldn't do it. Andre couldn't do it. None of us could do it.
Andre couldn't do it?
None of us could do it, bro. Those clubs were like 85 pounds apiece.
Are they really?
Yeah, they were heavy as shit. He just manhandled them.
Yeah, that's really hard to do those things. Yeah. I do them with these little 25-pound ones, and it's hard to do. And the longer the handle, more difficult it is to maneuver.
You put them behind your head and do them like Cos did?
Shield casting. You do this.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then I do these. I do a bunch of different ones with it, but it's a very weird kind of strength. And when you watch him do it, it's like, he must have been spectacularly strong.
Yeah,
he was a legit wrestler. Amateur wrestler.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Pan Am champion. He had a bunch of other accolades.
Yeah, there's, I mean, think about how many, like, real legit, Kurt Angle's a great example. Kurt Angle wins the gold medal with a broken neck. Won a gold medal in the Olympics with a broken neck.
Dude, I'm in the ring with Kurt Angle, and we go to square off. He gets down in an amateur stance. His eyes roll back in his head like a shark. I'm looking at him going, brother.